The 12th law of human nature. Reconnect to the masculine or feminine within you. The law of gender rigidity. And this is a very important law. This video is not what you think it's about to be. I'm not going to tell men need to be more masculine. Women need to know their place. Get to that. Thank God I cut it off because that could have been clipped so poorly. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the Anima Animus principle. It is about the unconscious traits that we suppress that come out in unfamiliar ways, in ways that we can't control. And it's the Carl Jung principle of the Anima, which we need to start addressing, especially as men, because I want you to understand, we all have the ability to be emotional. We all have the ability to like poetry, like flowers, like all of these things, but we suppress it to be seen as a man in terms of a societal norm. And it's frustrating because when we don't integrate these traits, they come out in negative ways. So for me, for the longest time before I started looking at my shadow traits, I would get very, very angry when someone would cut me off. I would get angry where I couldn't control the situation, and I would almost throw a temper tantrum like a little girl. And it's like, we have these feminine characteristics about ourselves, and when we don't address them in a good way, it's expressed in a negative way. And more often than not, it affects your relationships. It really won't affect like your day to day. It really only affects when like you get angry, when something doesn't go your way. But it has a huge impact on your sexual relationships, because like, let's say that I'm pursuing a woman, like I'm looking for these suppressed traits in my subconscious, and if I haven't addressed them, if I don't have a good relationship with these characteristics about myself, I will never be able to find that fulfillment in someone else, because deep down I'm looking for that fulfillment in myself. Deep down, that's a part of my psyche that's not being addressed. And it's impossible for someone to meet the demands of my unconscious mind, because my unconscious mind is what controls pretty much all of my thoughts. And it's very frustrating that we don't address these things, and it's very frustrating that people on the self-improvement kick don't look at these things, because it's like, it's the whole reason why people that make those no-fap videos and say, you're never going to do this again, this is the worst thing for you, like, it's the whole reason why these people will always make a video 2 weeks later and it's like, I messed up, I jerked off, I watched porn. Like, it's when you put these big barriers in your head, when you try to suppress something, when you try to demonize something, it does something to your subconscious that makes it expressed in a way that you can't control. And when we start realizing this, we start understanding that we need creative outlets for these feminine characteristics. If you're a woman, you need a creative outlet for these masculine characteristics. And for me, it's things like this. It's like making videos, it's being creative, it's reading poetry, it's reading philosophy, it's exploring the things that can't be expressed. For my entire life, I was all about statistics, I was all about facts, I was all about what this study could say, but I'm more and more into my intuition, my spirituality, the things I just believe without knowing for concrete facts. And it's like, until we address these characteristics, we'll never be able to have a good relationship with the anima. We'll never be able to have a good relationship with our partner. We'll never be able to give ourselves fully to someone else, because we don't understand ourselves as it is. Like, you need to accept all of yourself, all of your unconscious traits, before you can give yourself 100% to someone else. And it's the same thing with your partner. Like, they need to do the same thing. They need to have the same feelings that they have towards themselves, towards you. And it only comes from self-observation. It only comes from expressing your shadow traits in healthy ways. And if you need a good example, like for me, I was always sort of insecure about my ability to handle myself physically. I felt like I never got that physical challenge as a kid. I felt like I never got into any sort of physical altercations, and I would always, deep down on a subconscious level, like want to test myself physically. And when I would get drunk, when I would go out to bars, like I would slowly start to instigate things. I would slowly start to get in scenarios that were confrontational, where a fight could break out. And once I started training MMA, once I started training jiu-jitsu, like that need and that desire completely went away, because I was fulfilling that in a healthy way. And it's all about integrating your shadow traits in a good passion, in something creative, in something that is a healthy outlet. So like, maybe you start writing poetry, maybe start reading books, maybe start listening to like Celine Dion or something. I don't know. Do what you have to do, but you need to start expressing these traits, because until you express these traits, until you allow these to be parts of your character, you will never be able to be happy, because there is fundamentally a part of yourself that you're not expressing. And when you don't express it, it only comes out in evil ways. It only comes out when you get cut off, when you get when somebody starts confronting you, when somebody says something that you don't like, when you're in that meeting and you're just fed up and you just want to leave the room, and then you just slip up and you say something to your boss and you get fired. Like, there's a million examples I can provide you, but it all comes from the relationship with the anima and your unconscious traits. And I want you to understand this, because for the longest time, I was like, why don't my relationships work out? Why am I always having these relationships break down? I'm in great shape. I'm so smart. I'm this. I'm that. Like, I have so much potential. Like, I'm going to be doing great things. Why don't these people see the same things in me? And it's like, I wasn't addressing my emotional side. There was an entire part of myself that I wasn't addressing. I was pushing my emotions down. I was pushing the trauma from my childhood down, all the bad things that happened to me, all my bad experiences. I was choosing to ignore these feelings, and I was choosing to ignore these things. And like, once I started integrating these emotions, once I started integrating the things that really made me happy as a child, I was able to find someone that like actually makes me happy. And I can actually give my full self to them. Like, I can actually be myself, and I don't have to hold back. I don't have to play these manipulation games. I don't have to be concerned with what I say because, oh my God, she's gonna judge me if I say, like, that's not how it is now. It's such a beautiful feeling to say, because my entire life I was always that person that was like, well, I need 100% support. I need inspiration. I need this person to pick me back up. And it's like, those were traits I was looking for in myself. And until you realize that the traits you're looking for in your partner is what you're looking for in yourself, and when you address those traits and you're a complete individual, then that's when you can be happy. When you don't need anything from anybody else, that's when you can be a good girlfriend or boyfriend. That's when you can be a good partner in a relationship. That's when you can make someone else happy. But until that point, you will never be able to be happy as an individual. And this is why this is probably the most important law of the book. It also, I love this chapter so much. I'm not going to really go into each specific types, but Robert Greene goes into the common archetypes of the anima for different types of men and different types of women. And it's really interesting to see that, like, you will identify with some of these characteristics, and then you will understand how you have to start integrating your anima. And this is a chapter, like, if you don't read the rest of this book, find a way to get this chapter. Find a way to get the 12th chapter, the 12th law of human nature on audiobook or some way. Like, it is tremendous, because it will address exactly what you need to fix in yourself to be able to be in a relationship, to be able to be a healthy partner in a relationship and find love and find happiness and find fulfillment. And it's like, I accredit a lot of my current relationship to this book, because like, I was able to look at my past relationships. I was able to look at all the things that people have done to me, all of the trauma, all of the neglect or whatever I rationalized in my mind, all my shadow traits, and I was able to integrate it, make myself the person that I need to be, that I can accept myself, that I find the inspiration in myself, that I find the support in myself, that I find the nurturing aspect of myself. And once I applied that, it just worked like magic. And now I'm happier than ever. And you know what? This might not be the end of it. This might not be all the work's done, but right now I'm in a really great place, and I have to attribute a lot of it to this chapter. Obviously, me reading Carl Jung helps, but I think this chapter has everything you need to start integrating that shadow, to start having a good relationship with that anima, to start understanding what you need to do to be a complete individual, what you need to do to find fulfillment and find happiness. And that's what it's all about. It's all about understanding yourself so that you can understand others and make this world a better place. So I'll leave a link to this book in the description. I can't thank each and every one of you enough. I'm 9 minutes into this video right now. This is a lot longer than the videos I normally make, but I guess it just struck a chord with me. I'll leave a link to this book to this. Oh, no, that wasn't English. I'll leave a link to this book in the description. I don't know if I already said that, but go ahead and pick this book up. It's my favorite Robert Greene book. I think it's the best because it analyzes the individual. It doesn't analyze society. And I think it's more applicable because you can analyze yourself. You can analyze your close relationships. You don't have to be like a company owner to apply it, like the 48 Laws of Power. It's a tremendous book, tremendous read. On top of that, I have a Discord. If you want to get in contact with me, go ahead, click that link. And then I'm releasing a mental alchemy course tomorrow. It'll be out on August 28th, but I don't know when I'm going to release this, so that's why I started laughing. But that book is about transmuting your thoughts into positive ones, seeing the bad seeing the bad and focusing only on the good. Understanding that each situation has a good outcome, and the tactics that I use to transmute all of my thoughts into positive ones. Because if you would think only positive thoughts for the rest of your life, you're going to be happy. And this is the pursuit, and this is the path to getting to that. It's only $1. It's an absolute steal. I can't wait for you guys to check it out. It's some of the best work I've ever done. Thank you so much for being this far. Go ahead, check out all the links. If you don't want to, it's fine. But yeah, again, thank you so much for being this far. It means the world to me. Peace out, guys. Damn.